The Black Guerrilla Family, power, control, and survival behind bars. Subscribe now for more authentic crime tales. Remember to like, share, and engage with us in the comments below. It was still dark when federal agents stormed through the gates of the Baltimore City Detention Center on April 23, 2013. Their boots echoed against the concrete as they moved cell to cell, kicking in doors, shouting orders. Inside, inmates froze in disbelief, not because of the raid itself, but because of who the agents were there to arrest. This time, it wasn't just the prisoners. It was the correctional officers. Dozens of guards, most of them young women, were lined up in handcuffs under the harsh blue prison lights. Their faces were pale, stunned, silent. The FBI's lead agent read out the charges: racketeering, drug smuggling, bribery, and aiding the Black Guerrilla Family gang. The words cut through the air like a blade. In one cell, agents uncovered a stash of contraband: cell phones, heroin, tobacco, all hidden beneath the bunk. In another, they found stacks of cash wrapped in plastic. But the most shocking discovery came from a set of intercepted phone calls, recorded conversations between inmates and guards that revealed a secret hierarchy inside the prison. One voice, calm and commanding, said, "We run this place. The guards just work here." At the center of it all was Tavon White, a BGF commander known as Bulldog. From inside his maximum security cell, White had built an empire. He controlled drug routes, extortion payments, and even the distribution of contraband, all with help from the very people meant to stop him. Investigators later revealed that several female officers had been romantically involved with him. 4 of them were even pregnant with his children. The prison wasn't just compromised, it was owned. As agents escorted Tavon White down the hallway, he smirked at the cameras. "Ain't no system," he said. "We are the system." The operation would later expose one of the most embarrassing scandals in American prison history, a network of corruption so deep it blurred the line between guard and gangster. But in that moment, as the lights flickered across rows of stunned inmates and arrested officers, one question hung in the air. How had a man behind bars come to control an entire state prison and corrupt those sworn to contain him? The truth reached back decades, tracing to the radical roots of a movement born in the chaos of the 1960s, a brotherhood that began with revolution and ended in organized power. To understand what happened inside the Baltimore jail, investigators would have to go back to where it all began: San Quentin State Prison, 1966. To understand what happened in Baltimore, investigators traced the origins of the Black Guerrilla Family all the way back to 1966, inside the walls of San Quentin State Prison in California. That year, a young inmate named George Jackson, intelligent, articulate, and angry at the system, founded what he called the Black Guerrilla Family, or BGF. What began as a movement for Black unity and resistance against racial injustice soon evolved into something far more powerful. Jackson had been sentenced to 1 year to life for a $70 robbery, but after spending years behind bars, he became a symbol of defiance. He read Marx, Lenin, and Mao, teaching inmates about revolution, discipline, and pride. He envisioned BGF as a political army inside America's prisons, one that would resist oppression and protect Black inmates from violence by white gangs and corrupt guards. His message spread fast. Men saw him as a leader. To many, he was a voice of hope. But power, even when born from ideals, has a way of changing shape. By the 1970s, as the U.S. prison population exploded, BGF's influence grew. It extended beyond California, into Maryland, New York, and the South. The group developed strict rules, a chain of command, and a code of silence that punished betrayal with death. George Jackson was killed by guards in 1971, but his ideas lived on. For years after his death, the BGF balanced 2 faces: part revolutionary brotherhood, part criminal organization. By the 1990s, that balance tipped. With drugs flooding into prisons, ideology gave way to profit. The BGF began controlling narcotics, collecting taxes from other inmates, and smuggling contraband through visiting rooms and mail systems. They no longer fought just for political change, they fought for economic control. When the organization spread into Maryland's prison system, it found the perfect environment. Overcrowded cells, underpaid guards, and desperate conditions created openings for influence. The BGF offered protection to inmates and money to anyone who would help their cause. The line between guard and gangster slowly disappeared. One of those who rose through the ranks was Tavon Bulldog White, a smooth-talking Baltimore native with a natural gift for leadership. White didn't use fear. He used loyalty. He paid guards, protected them, and convinced them they were part of something bigger than just a job. To his followers, he wasn't just an inmate, he was a king. By 2012, the BGF controlled nearly every aspect of Baltimore's jail system. They dictated who got fed first, who got transferred, and who got punished. Prison officials had no idea how deep the infiltration ran until a single smuggled cell phone, discovered under a bunk, revealed a text message that would blow the entire operation open. "We own this place. Nobody moves without Bulldog's word." That message triggered a federal investigation, an operation that would expose the most shocking prison corruption case in modern U.S. history. The year was 2013, and deep inside the Baltimore City Detention Center, the FBI was quietly building a case that would shake the state to its core. For months, undercover agents monitored calls, text messages, and bank transfers. What they discovered went far beyond smuggling. It was an empire built behind bars. The Black Guerrilla Family, led by Tavon Bulldog White, had turned the detention center into a fully functioning criminal operation, with officers serving as soldiers, couriers, and even accomplices. The investigation began when federal agents intercepted phone calls between Bulldog and his associates. He wasn't whispering or hiding his crimes. He was bragging. On one recording, he boldly declared, "This is my jail. You can't do nothing without me." The statement wasn't bluster. It was the truth. Bulldog controlled every corner of the facility. Inmates followed his orders, guards obeyed his instructions, and rival gangs paid tribute to stay alive. But the most shocking discovery wasn't about the drugs or money. It was about the relationships. Several female correctional officers were romantically involved with Bulldog. They smuggled in cell phones, tobacco, and narcotics. In return, he showered them with luxury gifts, cars, jewelry, and thousands of dollars in cash. 4 of those women even became pregnant with his children while he was still behind bars. The story seemed unbelievable, but the evidence was undeniable. When federal agents finally raided the jail, what they found stunned even veteran investigators. Dozens of officers, inmates, and civilians were arrested in a massive corruption sweep. 75 people were indicted, including 13 correctional officers. The headlines dominated national news. Gang takes over Baltimore jail. In court, the details spilled out like scenes from a crime movie. Officers testified about sneaking in drugs under uniforms. Inmates described how Bulldog ran meetings from a hidden cell phone, settling disputes and approving transactions. Prosecutors showed wiretaps of Bulldog boasting about controlling the prison's entire drug trade, saying, "Whatever I say goes." As the walls of his empire crumbled, Bulldog realized the truth. His kingdom had been built on borrowed time. Facing a life sentence, he struck a deal with prosecutors and agreed to testify against other gang members. It was the ultimate betrayal for a group founded on loyalty and resistance. When the verdict came down, Bulldog stood silent. The judge's gavel echoed through the courtroom as the reality set in. The empire of the Black Guerrilla Family inside Baltimore's jail was over. But even after the sentences were handed down, one question haunted the system. How did a prison built to hold criminals become a place they could rule? The case forced a nationwide reckoning. Maryland shut down the Baltimore City Detention Center in 2015, calling it a symbol of corruption too rotten to fix. Yet, even as the doors closed for good, the legacy of the Black Guerrilla Family remained, a chilling reminder of how power, once unchecked, can corrupt every wall meant to contain it.